What's going on, my fellow Jedi and Padawans? Welcome back to another Jedi gaming video. Thank you guys so much for coming back to the channel, and if you guys are new, welcome. So as you can see in the gameplay, we are talking about the 120 hand cannon that has been reigning supreme inside of the Crucible, the Round Robin. Now this is a kinetic primary weapon that has that stasis burn on it, just similar to Perpetualis, Rufus's Fury. Now this thing definitely slaps super hard and is very good inside of the Crucible, and also has its place inside of the PvE realm. Not as much as PvP, one of the only PvP like oriented weapons I would say from this season, but we'll go over both of those god rolls for you guys, as well as its origin trait and how to grab this thing. So starting out right here for our origin trait, we have Nanotech Tracer Rockets. So this landing multiple hits turns your next shot into a homing micro rocket. Now this is super nice in my opinion for that PvE realm, for that ad management on some of those rank and file enemies, and then in the Crucible playing those 6s or even 3s when you're hitting a bunch of those shots, you can get that homing rocket to do just that little extra damage that you need to get someone trying to dip out behind a corner. Now this weapon, Round Robin, you can get from doing all of those quest lines in Neomuna, and just comes from doing activities around the map, going through the partition missions, going through old missions that are the weekly ones, as well as doing those gold patrol missions around Neomuna. Those will grant you them, as well as ranking up Nimbus. So a few different ways, but definitely takes a minute to get all 5 of these. Now starting out with our PvP roll, you can see down below this thing has 92 impact. It's an absolute beast with that 61 range and 45 on stability. Definitely building it out for that stability with this weapon, hence why we're going with that 10 for stability on this for our intrinsic masterwork. Now, when we move on to our barrel, we went with fluted barrel here for that increase to handling as well as stability. That handling just is nice to switch on and off of this for the sniper, bow, whatever you're using, even better for those hot swaps when that handling's higher. Now, second column for me, I'm going with ricochet rounds. Gives us, again, increase to stability and increase to range, giving us those stats that you see down below. Definitely the perk I would pick in this column. Now, for the third and fourth column, I think you got a couple different options. Me, personally, my god roll has Keep Away. Significantly increase reload, range, and accuracy when no combatants are in close proximity. And since this is a 120 with that 92 impact, we're definitely going to be able to stay away from those combatants a little bit easier with this weapon. And it is very good in the Crucible, especially when we pair it with my god roll for the fourth column. Now that perk in the fourth column that I am talking about is Kill Clip. So after reloading, defeating a target grants increased damage for improved duration. Now when you get this bad boy proc, we are 2-tapping enemies with those headshots because Kill Clip is active, and this 120 as it is does some increased damage compared to our 140s. So this thing absolutely gnarly once you get Kill Clip procced. So definitely, like I said, my go-to is going to be this Kill Clip with Keep Away. Now, as a secondary option in this god roll guide right here, for the third column, we have Killing Wind. So final blows increase mobility, weapon range, and handling for an improved duration. This right here, like I said, is our second option for this third column. My personal favorite is that Keep Away, but this is a solid option. Now for the fourth column in that second option, going with Opening Shot greatly improves the accuracy range of that opening shot of the attack. So not as good as Kill Clip in my personal opinion because of that 2-tap potential, but Opening Shot helps definitely with that bullet magnetism starting out an encounter, usually with a headshot with Opening Shot. Now, moving on to PvE, same intrinsic masterwork with that plus 10 stability, giving us the stats below: 92 impact, 63 on that range, 37 on that stability with that 20 reload speed, 10 in the magazine. Now when we move on to our barrel for PvE, we're going with small bore to give us that range and stability on this bad boy. Don't need the handling as much, just like in the Crucible. We had handling a little bit higher, so don't need it here for PvE. Now for me, I am going with appended mag in this column for a few different reasons. Doesn't tank our reload even more than it is at 22 if you use something like extended mag, but you do get that plus in the magazine up to 10, so it helps with what we're pairing in our third column. Now, next off right here in our third column, we are going to be using Envious Assassin. So when defeating targets with other weapons before drawing, this one transfers ammo to the magazine from the reserves, overflowing the weapon. So when you're using something like your Forbearance, getting all those clears, you switch to this, you can have a lot of those bullets inside of the magazine, having that bad boy procced. Now, another option in that third column could be Subsistence, so defeating targets reloads the magazine partially from your reserves, increasing that amount of ammo so you can stack it up to 10. Shooting those rank and file enemies, very good option for ammo and that add clear potential, stasis synergy with this weapon, especially with some perks we have in the fourth column. Now for me, the God Roll is that Envious Assassin with this golden tricorn right here in the fourth column. Those final blows with this weapon grant bonus damage for improved duration while it's active. Grenades and melee final blows of the same type greatly increase damage for improved duration. So golden tricorn with that stasis synergy especially, something like those threadling grenades will do more damage as well as your melees. So it is a very good pair with this hand cannon and the Envious Assassin for that synergy with Strand. Now, on top of that, for Strand, you can also go with Hatchling. So something like Subsistence and Hatchling is crazy because those precision final blows are rapidly defeating targets with non-precision weapons, spawn that threadling at the target's location. Plus, it gives us improved handling, not that we need it for PvE, but that synergy of continuously getting those defeats and rapid non-precision hits, spawn those threadlings. We're going to be able to proc that Subsistence as well as create those threadlings everywhere, so it's a nice little synergy in my personal opinion. But like I said, I personally am going with Envious Assassin and Tricorn, but Hatchling and Subsistence also great for that as well in the PvE realm. So hopefully y'all can get to grinding these 5 red borders so you can craft it. Definitely a killer inside of the Crucible with those 2 taps. No one is expecting it, and you can even go on top of that with Radiant, something like that. So this thing absolutely slaps in the Crucible. And then when you go into the PvE realm, definitely very good. Hand cannons in general just don't really hit compared to some of our other weapons inside of the PvE realm, but still a very solid B tier weapon for PvE, and I would put it in the S tier, if not high A tier for the Crucible. So thank you guys again for watching and that support. I truly appreciate it. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.